Matt Miller, sir, attorney in law. I wondered if you could go into a little detail about your style, your manner with clients, maybe an anecdote or two about an interesting case you had that kind of illustrates what differentiates you from a lot of other attorneys, how you're a little bit unique, have a customized approach to a client's situation.
Well, I always try and remember that each client's different. They may have different goals, different things they're looking to achieve in their case. It's people who might be in the exact same situation may be looking for a different outcome. So I always try and remember that I'm dealing with an actual person, and a person who's facing a very stressful incident in their life, who needs help and who may be scared, and who has a lot on the line. They have their liberty, their life, their financial ability to pay for their family often are affected by a serious criminal matter. So I always try and make sure I remember that when I'm dealing with my clients. Now, we take great pride here in trying to help people, because we realize that people facing criminal charges are facing one of the most stressful experiences in their life. And I always try and remember that when I'm dealing with people. Now, we at this firm are different than a lot of other firms in that if we are hired early enough on a case, we are trying to be very proactive. What a lot of people don't realize is that when you're arrested for something, you're not officially charged yet. The police report goes to the state's attorney's office, and they decide based on the police report what to actually charge you with. So what we like to do if we're hired early enough is to talk to the state's attorney's office and try and influence them to either file lesser charges or no charges at all. And in fact, one of the cases that I really felt best about is there was a young man who was attending a college, and the police decided to just go ahead and enter his apartment with no search warrant, without getting his permission. They walked back into his room, and they find out that he and some friends were engaging in the use of marijuana, which is not uncommon. It's something that a lot of people in the society do, and someday may even be legalized. But I mean, let's say he found himself facing criminal charges, found himself facing the possibility of having criminal conviction on his record, which could limit his job opportunities. Well, we got hired on that case. Before it got charged, I went in and talked to the prosecutor's office. We went over the case and how his rights were violated, and indicated to the state's attorney that we would file a motion to suppress based on the fact that his right to privacy was violated by an illegal search. And the state's attorney ended up not filing official charges after that. And I enjoy helping good people who find themselves in bad situations.
Well, that's an excellent example of your style. And when you say proactive, what would be the ideal situation as far as getting involved early? What specifically do you mean by that? Well, as soon as the cops knock on your door and handcuff you and take you to jail and get on your cell phone while you're in the back seat of the squad car? Or?
Typically, the ideal situation is that after somebody has been arrested by the police, whether it's an actual arrest where they go to the police department and are taking their fingerprints taken and photos taken, or whether they're given a notice to appear in court, which people often think of as a ticket, which it is not. But when they come and talk to us at that point in the process, it's an ideal circumstance for us, because the state's attorney hasn't yet made their decision as to what they are going to charge this person with. So it's an ideal point in the process for somebody like myself, for myself, to go in and talk to the prosecutor, point out my client's side of what actually happened, try and persuade the prosecutor to see my client as an individual, not just as they're listed in the police report. See their side of what occurred, to already start to create reasonable doubt in the prosecutor's mind, to try and influence them to either not file any charges at all, or to file fewer or lesser charges. And that's something we've been very successful at this firm at doing.
Out of a competent attorney?
Well, I think number one thing they need to look at is, do they feel comfortable with the person they're sitting across the desk with? Because this is going to be a person who's going to be helping you through a stressful point in your life, who you are in a lot of ways trusting your freedom and liberty to. So you don't want to do that with somebody that you don't feel like you can trust. So trustworthiness, the fact you're comfortable with the individual, I think is the number one factor that a person needs to factor into who they're going to hire. The next thing I think that a person needs to look at when they're hiring an attorney for a criminal matter is that their area of expertise, essentially? Is that where they concentrate their practice at? Are they somebody who just dabbles in criminal law and criminal defense as for a way to make some additional income? Or is that pretty much all they do? You are going to get better service, better results with somebody who is in the courts every day, dealing with the prosecutors, has a relationship with them, is respected by the prosecutors, and knows the rules of criminal procedure, and has done multiple jury trials. With us, I feel like that's one of our strong points, having been prosecutors in the past and doing exclusively criminal defense, is that we are well known in the court systems, well respected, and have an extensive amount of motion and trial experience. So I would say being comfortable with the person you're meeting with, feeling like you can trust them, and having somebody whose concentration is in the area of law that you're looking to be represented in.